Good morning, everybody. My name is Stephanie Thompson, and this is my final assignment for EDL 856, the case study, a new role for the parents organization, Module 10. So this case, I thought about this case a lot, and I think right here, just section 1, we'll just summarize what we already know. There seems to be a young attorney who has kind of taken the lead of what was the former PTA, and the principal is very concerned with this new parent group that they're calling themselves. It was formed back in the spring, kind of without the principal knowing, and they just seem to be kind of taking over what used to be the PTA. The principal was unaware of any concerns the parents may have had at the time prior to this taking place, and he's puzzled and kind of confused as to why this change is happening and why the parents organization is going in this direction. The principal does believe and really does support the need for parent involvement in the school. He understands that they need the parents' support, and he had always thought that they had been a part of it. He thought that they had been involved in back to school nights and various other things throughout the school year. So he's kind of perplexed, to be honest. The parent group wants change in many areas. And the president of this new group makes demands and ignores the principal during their initial meeting. The parent group, as I mentioned, led by this young attorney, doesn't think the back to school nights have been effective. They want a say in policy making. They want parent teacher conferences held during American Education Week, which I'll get back to later. They're going to meet often to discuss teacher performance and discipline and curriculum and various different very important topics, or so they say they're going to. I think the principal is concerned, as well as he should be, because if anything goes poorly, obviously he's going to be liable and it's going to be on his shoulders. So let's move forward. As far as ethics and legal issues in this case, I don't believe at this point any laws have been broken. There doesn't appear to be a breach of contract, but that's something at this point that's kind of unknown. But the ethics in this issue, in this case study, are completely a mess. The parents' meeting in the spring without involvement from school personnel was a bad business, and it doesn't support a collaborative effort for the benefit of the school improvement and school development. This appears to be a miscommunication all the way throughout this case study. The information before the start of the year, at this point in the school year or before the school year begins, is really unfortunate. Clearly, communication is lacking and the relationships need to be mended. So, synthesizing in section 3, as the principal, I am concerned and confused at the requests of the former PTA, as it doesn't cultivate relationships with the school community and it doesn't support school improvement or student development. Prioritizing the information, I think this case is terribly damaging to stakeholders. It's damaging to everybody involved, and even those that don't even know they're involved yet. Parents and schools must have a positive relationship to enhance the learning environments for their students. Parents and schools not working together for a collaborative effort can never end well, and this definitely needs to be fixed. Have the relevant people been consulted? Absolutely not. The school board, the superintendent, teachers, students were never really mentioned in this case study. This is all about a group of parents and one person specifically, it appears, because that's all we really know, kind of attacking a principal and making demands on a principal, and at a really bad time. Learning and making decisions on this case. I think a positive outcome can take place in this case, but it's going to take a tremendous amount of time. And I think I have a lot of questions in this case that just weren't answered. Mainly, what was the ultimate reason that the PTA chose not to be a PTA anymore and become this independent group of parents with high expectations of what they were going to do within the school? I also am curious who else is a part of this new parent organization, because all we really know is this young attorney. So as I thought about this and I came up with some options and some potential consequences in this case, I think the principal could take no action. I think the pros of that, maybe the parent group would realize they weren't getting anywhere and back off with their demands, but I don't necessarily think in this case that would happen. The cons, I think relationships would be damaged and the students and the school climate would be as well. Option 2, consult the board, the superintendent, and the staff for guidance. I think teamwork makes the dream work, and that's a silly saying, but I can always go back to it and it makes perfect sense. We can gain insight and develop a plan that would build positive relationships and engage others. And the cons, the parents group would be upset and it would definitely take a lot of time. Option 3, meet with the president of the parent group and work together to form an organization that can be effective in meeting the needs of both the school and the parents. I think the pros of this, the president would still feel as though he's making decisions. A plan could actually be put in place after consulting stakeholders and both parties will be involved. The cons, the president may not go for the idea and still continue with the demands. So moving forward, I think I'm going to go with option 2 initially, with option 3 taking place later down the road. So I kind of combined, I guess, option 2 and option 3, but I do think the lack of information in this case makes this tricky, but I would definitely first consult with the school board, the superintendent, and my staff, potentially my BLT, to gain more information and share insight on what's taking place. Working together with the school personnel to come up with an action plan to address this newfound parent organization. I don't think this is an issue that the principal can attack on his own. I think he needs some guidance. And the more we can communicate about this topic, the better we will be. And we can address the needs of both the parents and the school. Again, it will take a tremendous amount of time. Implementing my decision, the very first step I would take is I would consult with my superintendent and make him or her aware of this situation. And after guidance from my superintendent, I would meet with the president of the new parent organization and discuss this situation in its entirety and include him on some plans that I would have moving forward. I would meet with my building leadership team to discuss the situation and inform them of next steps. And I would work together with the parent organization to improve communication, parent involvement, and engagement in our building. Thank you for listening. As I said before, I think there's just a lot of information in this case lacking. I would want to know just many more details before I could move forward. But with the information that I do have, this is how I would address the situation and hopefully come up with positive results with everybody collaboratively working together for the benefit of our students and staff. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for all your insight on my projects throughout this course, and I wish you all the best of luck as we begin a new school year so soon. I can't wait to see all of our kids, and take care, and I'm sure I'll cross your path down the road. Thank you.